Welcome to this tutorial where we're going to learn how to make this color changing background. So let's come up to File, New Project. Make sure you've got this screen in front of you. When you have that, let's select New Composition. And in Composition Name, we're going to rename this as Master. We're going to look at our preset panel here, and we're going to make sure it's selected at HD 1920 by 1080 at 24 frames per second. We're going to make sure that our lock aspect ratio is checked on. We're going to leave us as square pixels, frame rate 24, resolution at full. And for our duration, this we're going to, you will have a different amount than I do, but this is our hours here. This is our minutes, our seconds, and our milliseconds. And we want to make sure that we have it at 10 seconds. And we're going to keep our background color as black and hit OK. So as you can see here, you've automatically got this black scene here. This is where all our video and everything that we want our viewer to see is going to happen in here. You can see over here, we've now got our master composition. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up to here to our rectangle tool and hit that. And we're going to drag all the way over our entire composition. And as you can see, it's now dropped a layer down here. We can just hide that part there because we don't need it right now. And let's come up to fill and let's change our color. I'm going to start with a deep blue and hit OK. And I'm going to go to stroke and I'm going to cancel that one, but we're going to leave our stroke at 0. So if you left mouse click and hold it, you can scroll left or right to get a stroke, but we don't want any stroke in it. Now, if we press this, we know this is going to scrub through our timeline, but nothing is going to happen because as you can see, this whole shape is taking up the full 10 seconds of our video. So what we want to do is we want to trim this down. So by hovering your left mouse click over here, you want to make sure that you've got your two arrows pointing left and right. And then you want to select this with your left mouse click, hold it down, and then drag it to 2 seconds. Now, once you've done that, let's select our shape layer and press Control D, or if you're in a Mac, it is Windows D or the Windows symbol and D. And we're going to duplicate this another 4 times. Now, resort your layers. So we want to make sure layer 1 is on the top and layer 5 is on the bottom. So you left mouse click, hold and drag it up to your layers. And let's just make sure that we've got all our layers sorted in the right order. And once you've done that, let's grab layer 2 and let's move it out to 2 seconds. And go to layer 3 again, same scenario, 4 seconds. If you are having trouble getting it flush against the end of that one, press shift and it will automatically help you snap to that position. Let's do layer 4 and of course layer 5 to fill up our 10 seconds. Now this is our scrub bar here and we're going to come over to the second layer. Make sure you have that second layer selected. Come up to your fill layer and choose another color. Again, we're going to scrub across to the third layer. Make sure you have that third layer selected. Come up to the fill and again choose another color. And the same goes for your fourth and your fifth. And our fifth one here. Okay, and once you've done that, come back to the start bar and have a scrub through at what you currently have with your colors. And this is pretty much what you're going to see right now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come up to our effects and preset panel over here on the right hand side, and we're going to type in fade. And what we want to select is the one that says fade in out frames. We are then going to drag and drop this onto each layer, making sure, don't know why that came out, making sure every layer has the fade in, fade out frames on it. Now, if you hit spacebar, it's a bit crazy. It's going to fade in, fade out, in, fade out. But we don't really want that. We want something slightly a bit more controlled. So we're going to come up and select Shape Layer 1, and you should have this effect panel pop up here. If you don't, the other way you can do it is by selecting this arrow and scrolling down until you get Effects, Fade in, Fade out frames, and there it is right there. So what we want to do is we want to set this fade in duration to 5 frames, and our fade out to 25 frames. We're going to then pop over to layer 2, make sure you select that, and we're going to have a fade in of 0 and a fade out of 25 frames and hit enter. Then for the next 3 in shape layer 3, 4 and 5, we're also going to do a fade in of 0 and a fade out of 25. Making sure you've got the layers selected each time that you're doing it and pressing enter. So now if we press this again, it's going to look slightly different. It's still going to fade out, but as we can see, we've now got this sort of strobing effect. But again, we don't want that. We want it so that this color merges really beautifully into this color without going black. So what we're going to do is we're going to select shape layer 2 and making sure that you have your 2 arrows going left and right again. And we're going to extend this out to 1 second. And then we're coming into layer 3. We're going to extend this one out to 3 seconds. Layer 4 to 5 seconds. And layer 5 to 7 seconds. Once you've done that, press the bar again and have a look and see that it starts just gradually changing into each color. And that looks really nice. It fades out. So once you have done that, we are going to select each layer, all the layers together by Shift Select, the top and the bottom. And then we're going to go right mouse click and select Pre-Compose. It's going to pop up this menu here, and we're going to name this background and hit OK. And now it's going to take you to something that looks like this. And this is our background layer. So what we want to do is we want to come up to here and hit Project. You probably won't see the full word, but just hit that, and we want to double click our master to make sure that we're in our master composition. And now again, if spacebar, we're going to see that it's still exactly the same. The only difference is that instead of having 5 layers, we've now got 1 layer that incorporates all our layers together. So let's add a bit more fun effect to this because we want the insides to kind of look like they're being shaded. So we're going to come over to our effects and presets, and we're going to type in vignette. So just VIGN, and come down to CC Vignette. And let's drag and drop that onto our layer as well. And as you will see, these sides have become a bit more shaded, but we'd like that to be a little more shaded. So we're going to come over here to angle of view, and we're going to type in 105 and hit enter. And that's going to bring it in to this one here. We're going to press, we're going to have a really nice look and see that we have now created this very color changing, moody background. Very cool for your future projects that you want to use. And so now that you have finished that, please make sure that you save your effects file because After Effects is very renowned for crashing. So just go File, Save As, save as, and you will find where to save your project, and you can call it color changing background or just background. Okay, and once you've done that, you are now ready to do the next tutorial.